You know, it will never not be satisfying to just draw/kill a monster. Hello, my fellow hunters. Hello, my fellow wielders of Capcom's favorite child. It's time for some greatsword, but specifically a long overdue update to how crit draw be doing in Wilds. Now that we've had the final major title update, and indeed the arch-tempered after that too in dahaad, we have a lot of fun new toys to play with. The last time we talked crit draw was back in Title Update 2, when Seregios gave it a really nice little kick, but now, wow, things have evolved, and honestly, crit draw greatsword is arguably nearly as good as just playing regular greatsword. When you couple in with just how safe it is, because inherently it is, it's crit draw, you run up, you do a single attack, and then you roll away, sheath, and leave. It's such a comfortable way to kill monsters, especially difficult ones. Yeah, I could see many people getting faster kill times with crit draw in its current ridiculously powerful state than trying to play, air quotes, normally and maybe getting hit a lot. Don't worry, we've all been there. It's part of playing greatsword. In any case, I am so beyond impressed by just how much oomph this packs, and I really didn't expect it. I knew it was going to be one hell of an upgrade over the last time we took it for a spin, but it's kind of silly the heights it can reach. We're talking like 1400, 1500 damage a draw. That's like a 400-500 gain over last time. Yes, it's to the dummy, but of course, it scales down to all the monsters. It's downright ludicrous. The EFR of when we get to the maths of this is kind of nutty cuckoo bananas. So the main gains are the Title Update 3 Bale set, giving us those waves of damage, adding around 10% damage just straight up, and because we're only doing our draw slash, we are pumping them out fairly frequently. And then, of course, in Title Update 4, not to mention the gogmazios armor, the arch-tempered dahaad armor, but chiefly that gogma artian lets crit draw finally do something very important, and that's use an artian weapon. Before, the weapon of choice was gogma, because that base raw was just way too tasty to ignore at 250, because crit draw itself as a skill lets us ignore the affinity penalty, so it was worth it over regular artian. Whereas now we can have an artian that has higher base raw than the gogma anyway, and it comes with set bonuses, and the 3/3 slots, and oh my. So yeah, this is incredibly exciting, and if you like the powerful, comfortable, classic hit and run greatsword style, and let's be honest, why wouldn't you? This is going to be a real treat for you. So without further ado then, let's get into the build. So weapon-wise then, of course, we want our Ostrak Oblivion, our Gogmatian. Now, the thing is, you kind of reach the point in this build because of how efficient armor has become, and because of how many just raw increasing skills there are, or more accurately aren't, if you don't care about affinity. And we don't, because critical draw is plus 100%. We get the minus 10% back via agitator. So in essence, we find ourselves actually kind of reaching a peak critical mass of damage here. The only skills that we don't have that we technically could, that would technically help some of the time, is the likes of resentment and peak performance. So yeah, I really can't wait for you to see the set proper, but I digress. The weapon itself then, you want Soul of the Dark Knight and Lord's Soul. Not exactly the most surprising role requirements. You want full attack, you want attack focus, and you want it to be the element the monster is weakest to, or dragon for an all-rounder. Now, because sharpness isn't really a huge deal for crit draw, you can actually just go full attack like I've done here, and have all 5 rolls be attack. Now, technically, plus 6 raw versus never having to sharpen, yeah, sharpness boost EX is fine, and maybe better, but I just really want to reach the peaks of damage with this, so I just let it stay as all in on attack. That then kind of covers it, and for your decorations, of course, critical draw level 3, and crit boost level 3, and then your focus and your handicraft. For the build itself then, this is where we end up. We want Guardian Doshagama Helm, of course transcended, we want a new Udra Gamma chest, we want Bale gauntlets, and then dahaad Gamma waist, and finally gogmazios legs. Talisman-wise, your ideal kind of remains what it tends to be, which is 3 attack made to 4 with the weapon decoration slot, and your 1 agitator. This agitator can also be 1 flayer, specifically in this build. Though this is a very easy build to replace with a crafted talisman, so don't worry if you're not walking around with perfect Golden Age charms. In any case, this gives us a nice base of full agitator, and then just kind of a lot of room for activity when it comes to all of these decoration slots, coupled with having Doshagama's Might and Soul of the Dark Knight activated on top of Lord's Soul. Honestly, choosing the set bonuses here was interesting, because Soul of the Dark Knight is mandatory, it adds around 10% damage to Greatsword, and you just can't not use it, but then after that, we don't really care about Burst Boost, we don't really care about gore magala, we don't really care about a lot of the set bonus options, so we kind of just stick with what regular Greatsword does, which is get Doshagama's Might, because hey, that's still a load of raw for 3 minutes after an offset, and just because we're playing crit draw doesn't mean that we don't want to offset, and it doesn't mean there'll be opportunities where we have to offset to counter what the monster is doing, so we might as well get that raw boost, as it all just feeds into the crit draws. In any case, when we decorate it up, this is where we end up. Your full level 5 Adrenaline Rush, which we still want to be working with in crit draw, because like plus 30 raw is ridiculous. Full counterstrike, full agitator. You've got room for full quick sheath with the level 1 slots on the armor, though you can use that on anything if you're not a fan of using quick sheath even with crit draw, but it is very, very useful. And if you do have extra slots in your charm, you can again use them on whatever utility you prefer. This then gives us a huge increase of oomph. We dodge a monster attack, we gain Adrenaline Rush, we get inevitably hit, we get counterstrike, and then the monster enrages, we get agitator, and as I'm saying, it's really only peak performance and resentment for pure raw ups. In any case, we also then use our last 3 slot on a single rank of Flayer with the title update 4 buffs. It's incredibly effective, it adds a lot of damage for 1 rank, and you're very good at actually proccing it with the crit draw playstyle. You'll see this happen a lot, and it's the perfect use of a single 3 slot, especially with burst not doing anything really for crit draw. So that gives us a really nice, efficient skill list that again, really is going to struggle to get any better. We'll see what Arch-Tempered Arkveld does. And if you want a comparison, then your kind of best normal Greatsword build comes out at an EFR of around 570. This crit draw, specifically on the crit draw attacks, 660! And then there's still the Bale waves on top of it. Is that not bloody brilliant? That is a gain over the title update 2 build of about 150. That is ginormous, and it's very easy to see then why this is as effective as it is. And damn, is it effective. And if you would like a fully crafted no RNG version, one where you don't even need any specific active skill rolls on your Gogmatian, this is it. You want your dahaad Gamma helmet and chest, Bale gloves and waist, and then your Oof Duna legs with the 3 Adrenaline Rush talisman. You decorate it up like so to still get that 5 Adrenaline Rush, 5 Agitator, 3 Counterstrike, and honestly, very similar overall skills to the perfect version. You just lose having that Doshagama 2 set on top, and that's kind of the chief loss. So you can really switch to a sort of crit draw playstyle and still have a really powerful way of doing it if you just want to have the fun without having to go full RNG to make it happen, and you've got 3 1 slots left over for any kind of comfort skills that you would like. In any case, then, let's talk actually playing this. So, of course, the greatsword crit draw playstyle, I'm sure you know it well, but, you know, run up to the monster, do your crit draw, and bring down a lot of the damage, extra bale waves, all that goodness. But of course, crit draw lasts a couple seconds after you actually let loose your draw. So what you want to do for the full combo is let go of the crit draw, and then in the 3 seconds you have, hit with the completely uncharged strong charge, and that is your kind of bread and butter. You run up, if you have enough time, do the level 3 draw, immediately go into the uncharged strong charged, roll away, sheath, and then repeat, and that's the flow. But don't be afraid to pop wounds, of course, and then you still want to use your free true charge. It is definitely worth it, and the rest of the kit is still there. You also do want to be getting your offsets, both because, you know, they're really good to use, and to maintain that Doshagama 2 set if you do have the perfect version. The main thing, though, is, well, twofold. Obviously, we have counterstrike, and you will get hit, and then we nicely get that buff. But the other and key aspect is maintaining adrenaline rush in order to keep that plus 30 raw. So just kind of get used to rolling vaguely near monster attacks like that to activate that adrenaline rush and keep that buff going, because it is a huge part of your damage. So it gives you another nice little way to weave in to attacks and then unleash a crit draw after doing so. It's also why I do like evasion mantle with crit draw greatsword, as it just aids greatly in that playstyle and rewards what you want to do anyway with a huge damage boost on the crit draw. And then the last little thing of note is you want to be eating the Azuz feast, so you get the tumbler meal high, which gives you more iframes on your evade to make triggering adrenaline rush that much easier. It's very much worth it. You're going to be using a feast anyway, and this one synergizes by far and away more with what we're trying to achieve. So there you go, everybody. That's title update 4.5, crit draw greatsword locked in, and it really is so much fun. It's so powerful. It's so comfortably easy to play in a way that is just so satisfying. I hope you give it a go, and I hope you have a great time with it if you do. For now then, let me know what other builds you'd like to see explored. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world our stage. Goodbye.